Hey everybody, I'm the Monty Mole, and this is the dungeon guide for Halls of Atonement on Mythic difficulty. In this guide, I'll be covering Covenant bonuses and all of the boss fights and their abilities. If you are looking for a specific fight, I will make sure to include timestamps in the description below. Those with the Venthyr Covenant will receive an extra bonus in this dungeon, and can use Stoneborn Boon. What this does is enables them to control Stoneborn mobs and gives you some small damage reduction. If you see these giant gargoyle ads, you are able to control them and have them fight alongside you. The first boss in this dungeon is Halkias, but before we are able to engage him, we must fill up this anima bar by killing 3 shards of Halkias ads. Once we have done that, we can make our way over to the boss. Halkias is a pretty straightforward fight. His first ability is called Crumbling Slam, which will focus the tank and leave a large pile of glass on the ground. His second is very similar to that, as he will randomly target members of your group and throw debris at them, leaving more junk on the ground. We do not want to stand in these piles because they will cut you. On Mythic difficulty, the first difference you will notice is this red ring around the boss. All players must stay inside of this ring at all times, or you will get feared away from the group. Halkias' main mechanic is called Refracted Sunlight. It is a rotating laser beam that we want to avoid. It sometimes changes direction, so make sure to find good positioning whenever he's casting this. All of these abilities, when paired together, make this fight kind of a little hectic. So you want your tank to help move the boss away from piles of glass on the ground, so Refracted Sunlight doesn't trap your group in a bad spot. Do that, and it shouldn't be too difficult. The next boss in this dungeon is Echelon. He will come barreling out of this door and needs to be picked up by the tank. Echelon has a few abilities that you need to watch out for, the first one being Curse of Stone. At 100 energy, Echelon will cast this debuff on everyone in the group, causing them to be slowed for a few seconds and then eventually stunned. During this fight, Echelon will also summon a group of ads to his side that need to be picked up by the tank and damaged down. Upon reaching 0 health, these ads will let out a small burst of nature damage and be turned to stone. You cannot kill them by yourself, but instead need to use Echelon's Shattering Leap to kill them. So if you are targeted, just run to the ads and Echelon will leap on them and destroy them. Where this fight can become a little tricky is when Shattering Leap overlaps with Curse of Stone, so try to stay alert and move as soon as you see that you are being targeted. Echelon's last ability is Blood Torrent. It's a simple pool of toxic blood that will spawn under players' feet. It's fairly obvious, so just step to one direction to dodge this and you will be fine. The next fight is High Adjudicator Aleez. Her 2 main casts are Bolt of Power and Volley of Power. Both of these can be interrupted, but Volley of Power does a fairly significant amount of party-wide damage, so if you are short on kicks, make sure to save them for this ability. Periodically throughout the fight, Aleez will summon ghosts from beyond that are targeting individual players. These ghosts do pulsing AoE damage while they are up, so we need to trap them in one of these empty containers as soon as possible. Just position yourself behind a jar and the ghost will run into it and be trapped. Aleez's last ability is called Anima Fountain. It's another pool that forms underneath your feet, so just move out of it. Lord Chamberlain is the last boss in this dungeon, and he will always position himself into the middle of the room, so you won't be able to come up with any cheeky positioning strats for this fight. His first ability is Stigma of Pride, which is a dot that he places on the tank. So, if you need to, make sure and use cooldowns to help out your healer. His second ability is called Unleash Suffering. It is a frontal cone attack. Periodically throughout the fight, he will turn himself towards a player and cast this ability, so make sure everyone is staying alert and sidestepping this cast. The last and final mechanic of this fight is called Chamberlain's Chorus. It is where he will cast 3 abilities back to back. Telekinetic Onslaught is where he pulls all of the statues from around the room to himself. Telekinetic Repulsion is when he throws all the statues back out. And then lastly is Ritual of Woe. It is when he will channel a red beam of anima to the statues. These 3 abilities will always be cast in this order, so with a little practice, it's pretty easy to learn the rhythm of the chorus. Don't get hit by the statues, and don't let the red beams touch them, or your whole party will take massive damage. And that's all there is to Halls of Atonement. Thank you everyone for watching this guide. I hope it was really helpful for you. And if you would like to see more videos like this, make sure to hit subscribe and follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Until next time, guys. Peace.